Greetings, my lovely little frost pups, and welcome back to another art talk. Today we're going to be talking about, and this is going to be a bit of a personal subject for me in particular, but we'll be talking about ADHD, which if you don't know, I do have. It runs in my family. My dad has it, my brother has it really bad, my uncle has it. We also all pretty much have anxiety disorders, but that's not the point. Today we're going to be talking about ADHD in the terms of streaming and content creation, how it affects it for me and other people. Well, at least from my perspective. So the way ADHD affects me in particular, that's actually a good example right there. Zone in to lots of things, or I can't focus at all. There's really no in between with me. I'm either going to be hyper-focusing on one thing, or completely out of focus and all over the place. The reason I can't stick with one game, for example, for long periods of time, or let's say Let's Plays and the like, I just can't stay focused on that topic for that long. It just isn't going to happen. Unfortunately, that's just the way my brain works. But when I say I can't, what's that mean? Well, when I say I can't, I mean quite literally, I can't. Shoot, if I leave, let's say hypothetically, if I were to leave a room, if I was in the middle of doing a project, like the one I'm doing now, and were to leave the room, I'm not feeling that project. Sorry. If I were to leave the room in the middle of a project, I would end up, by the time I got back, I would completely forget I was doing anything to begin with, and I would have absolutely no idea what I was doing. So what ends up happening is when I stop playing a game for a while, I completely forget I was even playing it to begin with. And when I say I completely forget, I don't mean, oh yeah, I'm just forgetful. No. Ever hear the saying, out of sight, out of mind? Well, in a way, ADHD makes that 100 times worse. The out of sight, out of mind is a very literal thing with ADHD. I forget you exist until I have a reason to think about you. Because my brain is always going a million miles a second. I'm thinking about 100 different things at once, all the time. 24/7. It makes me to where I can't sleep often enough. I have to take medication to be able to sleep, in case anyone's wondering. It makes it to where when I do sleep, it's very restless sleep. But in terms of content creation, the biggest effect it has is I just can't focus on what I'm doing at a given point in time. I write scripts for these videos, believe it or not. How often do I follow them? Never. Once in a blue moon, maybe. Those legs are way too big. Sorry. Trying to stay on topic, but it's really hard for me. I am trying. That's the thing. That's what people gotta understand. We are trying. It's harder than you think. And I'm not trying to make excuses for poor content or anything. No. I'm aware. As far as a content creator goes, I have a lot to learn. What I am trying to say is that just because you have ADHD this is actually meant to be a more supportive thing. I don't mean to ramble. I'm trying more to say that just because you have ADHD like me or anyone else out there who happens to have it, doesn't mean you can't do these things. It's hard. I'm bringing the attention of all the issues that have with it, and they're coming out very strongly in this video, particularly because I didn't sleep well, and I'm losing focus a lot because of it. But you can manage. It can be done. It's hard to stay consistent when you have this issue. It really is. But you can do it. It takes time. It takes a lot of effort and discipline. And when I say discipline, I don't mean it like the normal way of meaning discipline. I'm talking like you have to physically remind yourself what you're doing. And staying focused is not easy. It's one of those things that people say, oh, well, it's just stay focused on what you're doing. It's not that hard. Well, if you got ADHD, you're basically asking the near impossible. For example, as we're talking, my brain here is, I'm trying to focus on my drawing and what I'm trying to communicate, but my brain is also, obsessed with my parents' TV in the other room. I can hear it, and it's driving me nuts. I keep looking and glancing at the corner. Another example of how bad ADHD can get is when I was younger, I was in school, and there was a kid constantly clicking his pen was driving me insane. Click, 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 click. And I was trying really hard to focus to the teacher, because believe it or not, I actually did try really hard in school. I didn't learn anything, hardly at all, when it comes to specifically math and English. Math I'm better at, but I cannot write to save my life. And I did try, though. A lot of people say, oh, you just didn't try. I tried. I just wasn't diagnosed until later. Trying didn't get me very far, and I was always trying to focus on the teacher's lectures, and I couldn't understand them, and the pen clicking is all I could focus on. Because the thing is, when you have ADHD, you don't get to decide what you focus on. It just, your brain focuses on what it's going to focus on. And you just have to fight it if you have to focus on other things. It's really hard to do. But back to the story at hand. When I was a kid and this was going on, and the kid was constantly clicking, click, 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 clicking his pen, I had one of my first panic attacks. I freaked out and yelled in the class, please just stop. It was a bad thing. I cried, it was embarrassing, but that's what ADHD does. There's a reason anxiety tends to come with the package, because your brain goes in so many different directions, it fries itself. Especially for me. I can't overthink things enough. I'm gonna constantly do it no matter what. No matter what I do, I overthink it. It's why I can't make friends very well. It's why I probably will never be able to make friends very well. Because making friends is hard, and I overthink every interaction I make with them. Did this hurt them? Did I say something wrong? Those all go through my head on a regular and a current basis. And that's not necessarily the ADHD, that's the anxiety. But the reason I have such a bad anxiety disorder is because of ADHD over the years. My brain just quite literally doesn't stop going, no matter what I want to do. I just figured I'd shed some light on this and tell people with ADHD, yes, you can make content. Yes, it's going to be hard, but you can do it. I believe in you. So that's going to be it for this episode of Art Talk. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye and have a lovely day, my frostpups.